Paranormal Chat are just that. Any topics of discussion during a broadcasted show is in no way the exclusive view nor opinion of the host or any Webb Radio Network staff. You're listening to the Fox Paranormal Chat on the Webb Radio Network. And now, Michael and Destiny Fox.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show tonight. We have a full lineup for you guys tonight on this show. We have a special guest tonight that we've actually had several chances to talk to and spend some time with at several Paracons across the country this past couple of years. And
two.
Yeah, two. Well, several.
Yeah, I guess that counts as several.
Yeah. But and I think it was Wisconsin, and then again we ran into her in Connecticut.
Yeah, I really didn't connect with you until Connecticut. It's like I don't connect with people until I get eye contact, and once that happens, then I've got a connection. I know I'm weird like that, but once I make good eye contact, then I don't know. It's like an icebreaker for me.
Yep.
I'm just sharing our little.
Why don't you introduce our guest?
I do have to tell you, we did make eye contact in a hotel room in Janesville, Wisconsin. I walked into Jeremy's room. I just barged in. And you were all just kind of hanging out in his room. And I was just like, hey.
Yeah, that I remember. This is Ane Shin. Did I say the last name right?
You did.
Okay. She's a psychic medium, a tarot card reader. Jessica is up above you on my screen. She's one of our lead investigators for our paranormal team. And then we have Kobe, which is one of our team managers. And I'm just introducing everybody. And I do want to say I appreciate Stan Fikes, our producer, for helping us put this on, because without him, I have not the knowledge to make all this happen.
Well, it's nice meeting all of you. Thank you for having me here.
You're welcome. Now, I have taken mediumship classes with John Covey, and I think I aced the class. I think I did pretty good. So I've really been practicing and being opened up to gifts that I have. And Michael's having a hard time lying to me anymore, because it's like, Spirit says, no, you're lying to me. I'm kidding. But what's it like? I know I read your bio. This is nothing new for you. This goes back to your parents.
Yeah, I was born and raised in a family of tarot readers and intuitives. And but the weird thing is that I got the lion's share of the abilities of at least the few that in my generation, and with my sisters and my cousins. But I'm able to talk to those that have crossed over and see and communicate with things that nobody else can see. So right. I got it all.
Yeah. The first time that happened to me, I know the show's all about you tonight, but I do want to share something with you. The first time that happened to me, I feel like it was, I was in my 40s, and I feel like I was making that life change from, going into my older years. I'm not going to say how old I am, but I had a visit from a lady, and I think it was right around my 40th birthday. and she was a very plump lady, had on older clothes, and it's like somehow I knew that she was there to assure me that going into a different stage of life, that everything was going to be okay. I really
Mm-hmm.
felt that, and when I saw her, I went right back to sleep. Since then, since that visit, I've been able to see spirits myself, and mostly I hear them. It's rare I see them, but
Mm-hmm.
mostly I hear them. And so my gift's a little strange. So I think we've been on investigations, and twice I've actually seen the spirits. So yeah, I do see other things, but what was it like the first time that you experienced it?
Oh, I've been doing it since I was little. So I mean, I have memories. I have different memories of like of a childhood. Like most people will have memories of, like, say your memory of drinking this cup of tea here, and what you're doing is, when you're remembering drinking a cup of tea, you're remembering the tea being right here in front of your face, and you're doing this. My memories are of me up above, and sorry, I have dogs and I have to leave the door open. So flies like to
Oh,
come
it's
in
fine.
and attack my tea and me. But anyway, I have, my memories are always like from up above in the corner of the room, looking down at myself and watching myself. So those are a lot of my memories. So I have different memories than most people. I thought it was a normal thing until people told me, no, it's not. And I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, I've been talking to entities and spirits since childhood. I remember my very first memory of me doing something like that is, I was a toddler, and I was talking to nobody in the room. I was watching myself just in my room, just talking to nobody. There was like, but standing, like, it wasn't like I was playing with dolls. It was like I was just standing there talking to the wall. And that was my first memory. And I think I have more earlier memories of me being above and looking down at myself, as like maybe a year and a half, 2-year old maybe. But being in a dark hallway, and crying, um, and being scared. So something must have scared me in order for me to go down to that hallway and that door. Um, but that my first memory I must have been like maybe 3 or 4 years old, because I was little. I mean, I wasn't much higher than my bed and the mattress. So yeah, so I was just talking to something. So I don't remember exactly who I was communicating with, but as I got older, I would see things and you try to ignore it, because it kind of gets a little scary, especially because no one else can see these things. And then you don't want to be a freak, you know.
Right.
So, but yeah, so I lived a life of just kind of hiding for the most part of what I can do. And then when the things started touching me, and I would call them now, I was afraid to talk about them, but because nobody else got to see them, but I was able to see shadow figures and shadow people and shadow entities. The thing is that the spirits, they didn't really necessarily, hurt me or want to come near me or anything like that, or touch me, where these entities, these shadow figures, and beings would. And that was like the creepiest thing in the world. So that was fright. Those were like terror. That was terror for me. Until I got to the point where it's like I understood finally like what abilities I have, and I started doing that when I was understanding that when I was in about 17. I was able to always, right from childhood, be able to give people advice. Like someone would say something in my ear, and I would relay the message to whoever I happened to be sitting next to, and I'd say something and I would be right, or I'd be helping them, or they'd be like, oh wow, how did you know that? And I'm like, I don't know, they just told me. And so of course it's your imaginary friends when they tell you. So I grew up that way. But yeah, when I was 17, I moved to Arizona, and I joined this spiritual metaphysical church with my mother. And of course, I was raised Catholic. I was baptized Catholic, and I was raised in Catholic school. So that was another reason to keep it all quiet,
Mhm.
don't want the nuns knowing what you're doing at home, when you're reading tarot cards.
Right.
But yeah, so they just started like appear more and more the more I was able to accept that I had the abilities, because the reverends at the church that I went to were explaining to me, I'm not crazy. I am actually seeing things. Because even though I was born in a family of intuitives, they have like abilities. Like my sister, she's like, oh, I smell jasmine. That grandma must be here. That kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And but she couldn't see grandma. And and stuff like that, where like someone would get a feeling, but never be able to see and talk to and hear, but just would get feelings or something like that, and smells. And that's basically mostly what the extent was with the rest of my family. So they weren't able to understand exactly what was happening with me.
Mm-hmm.
I was way younger than everybody else in my family. Being born 15 years, I was born on my oldest sister's 15th birthday. So there's a big age gap between me and my siblings. So
same with me. My older sister was 13 and a half years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, John, how are you doing? I was just talking about you earlier.
Mr. John Covey.
Yes.
Good friend of ours. He's also a psychic medium.
Oh, good.
He is. He's the one that I took a little class under.
Okay.
So he was my teacher.
Yeah.
He's amazing. He's awesome.
Yeah.
So you did a reading for me not long ago on one of your live streams. So thank you for doing that.
Oh, me?
Michael, this is what happens to Michael. Like when I find one of our psychic friends on and they're giving readings, I'll say, give me one, please, or can you pull a card for me? And then Michael will go right under me. Can I get one too, please? They'll do mine, skip his, and go on and on. He's never gotten a reading.
Are you serious? Even on mine? Oh, I'm so sorry, Michael. I won't ignore you again.
No, I don't. Okay. No, it wasn't on yours. It was on a few other. It's like every time I find somebody and I'm watching, because I like to listen to what they're saying. I'll put, can you pull a card for me, or can I get a reading? And they'll get me, and then a little under me, Michael will say, I'd like one too, please, and they never get to him.
You know what? Well, maybe in their defense, this is what happens to me. I don't know if it happens to you, but because I use StreamYard for mine, and because I'm on like a couple different pages or 2 or 3 pages at a time, StreamYard doesn't put everybody's name and comments on there. I don't know if they're like bouncing them off because they're coming in at the same time, or
right.
But I have to I have 2 phones that I actually put like at least 2 different, one of each page that I'm on. Plus I have it on like Facebook. I like click over and look at comments to see who's on. And so and of course I'm already squirrely enough as it is, I get just distracted so easily. So just to even like bounce around from page to page to try to like see who's on, I'm already like lost in 10 conversations by that time. But yeah, I forget who I read for. I don't remember readings. It's as if it like just kind of comes in and then goes out, and then it's like not meant for me to have or remember. But when you were talking, you were telling me about, just now, about how you started about when you're 40, you started to see things and experience things. They were telling me you had this ability long ago, but it was squashed. You were a lighthouse, my dear. You definitely, I know I always blame it on the squirrels. I'm so squirrely. But they're telling me here that, they showed me when you were talking, they're showing me the tower and a lighthouse. And that means you have been a lighthouse for them. They are drawn to your light and your energy. And that's the way it's been for you your whole life. And that's why you were drawn to this. And, but something happened in your childhood. They're saying childhood, something happened in your childhood that had you kind of squash the ability. and kind of, just kind of like keep it to a minimum. But then when you got to this certain point in your life where you were more confident in who you are, and, even though it's kind of confusing, like seeing something that, isn't there, and hearing voices, and like, you're like, okay, I'm going crazy. It's the change of life or whatever this is. It's not, it's the fact that you have gotten to a point in your life. I'm sorry, my dogs are bulldogs, so they snort and snore and make all kinds of they sound like little demons sometimes under my desk. But yeah, so they're telling me here that you've had this ability a long time, and so now it's just you've come into your own and confident, and you've been exposing yourself to it, and gradually, and opening yourself up. So now and they're saying you may have one or two ways that you are able to hear them and see them and feel them, but it's going to be growing. They're saying it's definitely growth, because they're showing me the Empress card here, which means growth is happening here for you on this. So it's going to even get more intense for you. So just be prepared. You're not crazy.
It has. It's already started.
Yeah.
Yes. And they're going to even start showing you what they're showing me. They're showing you little videos, or almost like it's like going to be like a little film going on in your head of when you are doing an investigation. It's going to be as if someone's going to communicate to you by showing you like small little clips of a video of their life, or what they're feeling, or what you're seeing that they have gone through. And that's how they're going to communicate. So you might have your investigation equipment, but you are going to be able to validate what that equipment's saying, and the equipment's going to validate what you are seeing and saying, which is going to give you more confidence in your ability.
Awesome.
Good.
Awesome.
That's good.
I didn't see a video clip, but what happened to me a few nights ago, I had told a couple of family members about it, is I saw a picture. It started out just like a in color photograph, like an Oriental girl, and she had aviator sunglasses on and short hair, maybe a little tomboyish kind of look. But then it wasn't in color anymore. It turned into like a pencil sketch, and it kept. This was while I was asleep, so it could have been a dream. But I really feel like somebody was trying to come through to me, because I mean, it was like I just kept seeing that picture, the sketch.
Yes.
So I don't know what it hasn't happened again. So I don't know exactly what that was. That was something new for me.
Yeah, keep a dream journal right next to a notebook with the pen right there next to your bed. Sorry, Michael, she's going to have to turn the light on in the middle of the night on you, and just kind of writing. writing her dreams, because otherwise you go and you wake up and you're like, oh, I'll remember that. I have to remember that in the morning. And then you go back to sleep, and then it's gone. And you're like, oh man, I had this dream and I can't remember it now. But you have to start writing them down, because they're visitations, especially when you're working with spirit. And it's like, they might be even coming to you in the future, like for future, visitations for other locations. So you might be planning something down the road, like you're planning to go to Gettysburg, and you're probably going to start getting visitation from people in your dreams through that, preparing you for what their messages are going to be and what you're going to be picking up. Because they can do that. I mean, it's energy. That's all we are, is spirit. We're just energy. And like, we're just wearing these little meat suits here right now, but we're all energy, and we're connecting, especially when you're in your dream state. You're more prone to it. You're astral traveling, you're communicating. It's all energy. So you're more open to it, because it's all the subconscious is out there now, and you're not consciously, focusing on the here and now. You're just in that dream state where you're more open to spirit messages.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think about that I could be seeing something that I will actually meet later. That's amazing. That is so amazing.
Especially if you get the deja vu feeling.
We have the USS North Carolina coming up, the investigation. So when we do the battleship.
Ooh.
Your sunglasses. So maybe, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
That could be. That could be something there. And Michael, they're giving me, I don't know what you're doing, but they're showing me the Ace of Pentacles for you. And that means there's a new financial situation coming up here for you. So like, I don't know if it's a lump sum of money coming to you, or you're getting a raise, or there's some kind of, you're doing something, you're investing something financially that's going to benefit you. But I do see some more money coming your way, especially in a financial situation. So something's definitely happening here for you. They want me to give you a reading, so, and give you a little something. So, but yeah, they're showing, every time I look at you, they're showing me the Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. So I'm just like, okay, all right, I'll let them know. So whatever it is that you're doing, if you've been thinking about some kind of investment of some sort, it looks like it's going to work out for you. It's going to be beneficial. If you're still working, or doing some kind of something where you're dealing with money, like making money, it's going to benefit you. And especially, they're saying, I don't know if you just started a partnership or had a partnership of some sort, and something's going to be signing contracts. They're saying it's going to be, because they're saying the Justice card, which means create the balance in your life, because sometimes you don't have balance in your life. It's either you work all the time, or you just give your all into one thing and you forget about yourself. So go and get that massage, whatever it is that you need to do, have some balance in your life.
Relaxation too.
Yeah, relaxation.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
Hey, Charles, I'm glad you made it.
There's Charles.
Yes.
Me also, I can remember I was seeing spirits when I was very, very, very young. My mother had the ability. She said she was always able to talk to spirits and stuff. So I've been in the paranormal for many, many years now.
Well, you were born paranormal. That's why.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Because
I
I
remember,
remember,
how did you get involved in the paranormal? And it's like, I was born paranormal. It's just.
I remember him taking me to graveyards when I was 3 and 4 years old in the middle of the night, because my mother would say, there's somebody there that wants me to talk to him. So we had to go.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that. I'm afraid of the dark, for one. And then two, I was in the Catholic school, we were all like, every time we saw a graveyard, we would hold our breath and cross ourselves until we got past the graveyard. It was like, I was always praying for a short little small graveyard, because it's like you had to hold your breath for some reason. I don't know what that was all about, but I did it.
Yeah.
I don't know if my friends were just messing with me or what, but that's what we did.
Yeah. Well, we don't on a regular basis go to graveyards, because really graveyard isn't the best place to go if you want to investigate the paranormal.
Yeah, because I know I wouldn't. I mean, I'm not going to hang out at my gravestone. I'm not going to be like, that's boring. I'm haunting people.
Yeah.
For real, I've got a long list.
Yeah.
Hey, Cindy, how are you doing? Long time no see for you too.
Oh, that's Cindy. I remember her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Louisiana girl.
Yeah,
she came to our event with Jeremy at
Poly Jail. When we did the event Poly Jail, she was there. Yes.
Were you guys in at the MGM in Vegas at all?
Yes.
Were you there?
Yes, I was there.
Yeah, we were there.
Yeah, we were there.
So we were now at 3 different places together now.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. We were over. It was like, what was it? Ben Hansen and KD couldn't come. Katie Swafford. So we moved in his spot, and then it was Jeremy and Tammy. We actually moved over there, so you know.
You were right there at the MGM. You were right there, right next to Jeremy.
Yes.
We were in the same row, because I was right next to the Sasquatch guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
we were there.
We were neighbors.
Yeah.
Look, I am so empathic, and marijuana being legal there, and I'm not prone to do this. So without smoking anything, I was kind of walking around like buzzing the whole time I was there. I went outside, and I smoked cigarettes, so I went outside, and went to the smoking area. And just as I went to walk in, there were two guys. They had just took big puffs, whatever you do, and blew it right in my face, one on each side. And so from there, it was like, hey, y'all. Yeah, I didn't know you were there.
Vegas
Yeah.
was a trip.
I was there early. I went there early. I think I was like there like 1 or 2 days early. And I didn't realize, you know, when you start drinking, like you just keep drinking. You don't know like when to say no. Sometimes you just hand your credit card over and you're like, hey, it's a party, you know. And I was there with a girlfriend of mine, and we went to the, oh, I don't know, it's like some cowboy bar inside there. Well, I asked for a glass of wine, and they give you this massive can of wine. And so I don't know how many I had, but I had quite a bit, that I was feeling so sick the next day. I went downstairs to the basement, like from the parking lot. On your way in, you know how you have to like walk downstairs and there's like all these little shops and stuff, and then you have to go up the elevator to get to the main floor to check in. Well, there is this place where you can get these IVs, and so I was so hungover and so sick that I went and got the Royal Flush plus an extra bag of the B12. And so and it had like pain meds in there. It had cleansing your liver. It was like everything in this Royal Flush thing. And I felt amazing. I could drink I drank the whole rest of the time there, and nothing affected me. And everybody else was getting sick and dropping off Facebook and stuff like that afterwards. I was like, nobody was showing up on Facebook with pictures or anything. And I was still feeling great and energized for like 2 weeks afterwards. Everyone's like, oh my God, we got so sick. And I was like, no, I was feeling great. I'm going to get that. It's almost worth the 6-hour drive to go to Vegas, just go get that thing again. Just
We have a shop that opened here. We live in Carrollton, Georgia, and there is a shop that opened, and they do the IVs. And I've thought about those. I really
they're
have.
amazing.
So I'm intrigued. I've been watching their little shop on Facebook. So
do it.
I'm thinking about it.
We actually, when we were
you
in Vegas,
feel amazing.
We took the train, that tram that's right inside the MGM, and takes you down to the Strip. And we rode it to the Strip and hung out down there for a few hours one evening.
Yeah, with all those marijuana smokers, and then I'm real sensitive, you know.
I didn't leave the MGM. I stayed right in there until the last night when the Ghost Brothers were having a party. And I went to their party, but I guess I went a little too early because it was just like, I don't know. Then we went back to the MGM, to Lobby Bar. Lobby Bar is where I hung out. I think I lived in Lobby Bar the whole time there. So
yeah. Well, there's little bars all through there going from the room to the event. It's like a 5-mile walk anyway. So
no, and I did it in stilettos. I walked all weekend long.
Okay, Charles said when he was in high school, some friends and I went to Heard County and visited a grave. Destiny, you know the one I'm talking about. And even though nothing happened, that was the scariest thing I'd ever experienced. And I'm still ready to go Bigfoot hunting. Yeah, hey, I'm down for that. I've never been. I'm intrigued. I'd like to go looking for Bigfoot. Jessica is actually trying to come into her gifts and be more understanding of them. She does have some abilities, but what advice could you give her to bring them into play a little bit more for her?
Well, what are you feeling that you have, Jessica?
Well, I've talked to and seen spirits since I was a little kid. I don't see them as much anymore. I see the one that's in my house. But I have dreams sometimes that end up playing out exactly the way I dreamed it. I get this really weird feeling of deja vu. And sometimes I get visits from relatives that were here at one time or not anymore. It's just a lot of different little things.
Okay. So right now, all you really need to do, for me, this is how it works for me, and this is how I help others when I do my classes, is first, you already have the ability. You know it. You just have to claim it and be confident that this is real. This is what you're getting. That this is communication. This is connection. And you have the ability and the sensitivity to understand them and hear them and communicate with them. They're coming to you because you are a lighthouse. You listen. You are open to them. You've been doing this since you were an infant. And you've had this, you've had this ability. I don't know if you had, I don't know what they're showing me when you were like, probably when you were a child. Did you have like some kind of veil over you or something? Or was there some kind of like, it feels almost like there was like a veil, like you could, like it's almost kind of like a haze over your eyes or something covering your eyes. So I don't know what that was. I don't know if that was just you seeing spirit, or if this is you were born with the veil, because they say that if you're born with a veil, and then you're just automatically born with this gift. But I'm feeling like this is something that even if you weren't, you actually were. So but it gets squashed as you get older, because you get more, you grow up, you kind of squash that ability. And because you're too busy being a teenager, growing up, doing things, doing life. And so you kind of push it aside, but yet you still kind of, you still are aware, because we're energy and you're aware of the energy, but you're already doing it. So all you have to do is just claim it and know it's there, and be confident that you're not crazy. You are seeing these things. They are communicating with you. And when they come, you just say, "Hi, how can I help you? Who are you?" And then they're going to give you whether it's going to be a feeling, or you're going to see something or feel something or hear something. Like what's going to happen is I tell people, like, try to picture and envision a whiteboard or a blackboard. If you're, like I was Catholic school, so we had a blackboard. But I switched it to a whiteboard because in the whiteboard you can get like different color markers and stuff, and the colors mean different things, have different meanings. Like green can either mean money, but it can also mean the heart chakra. And like, so if you know your chakra colors, you can like kind of do that. And then they can also write words on there to like give you answers, just kind of like, and because you'll see if you watch me on my live streams, I'm like, I'm talking to people, I'm doing readings, but I'm like looking up all over the place. That's because they're putting words and doing things up there in the, in the air for me that I'm looking at, and I'm seeing people and they're showing up and stuff. So I'm like, I'm all over the place. So I'm like, but I'm like, because I'm in here in the zone and communicating with them. It's, if you've got an imagination, a great imagination, that's perfect. Just trust your imagination. It's not being silly. It's something that's real. You just have to trust it. And it's going to grow. The more you just claim it and you're just like, okay, I'm a medium. Yes, I'm psychic. That's, bring it, but do it on my level, and at my pace, and communicate to where I'm going to understand. And as long as you communicate with them like you would anybody else, it's going to grow stronger and stronger, and you're going to be more confident. That's basically, and there's nothing wrong with being confident in what you do. Okay. People are like, oh, you shouldn't be so, sure of yourself. Well, yeah, you got to be in order to be able to handle what's coming at you, so just know that you be confident in yourself, that you got this ability. We all actually in some form do it, kind of like, I like to use Gordon Ramsay as an example. We can all boil water, at least hopefully some of us, well, we can all boil water, but we're not all Gordon Ramsay. So some of us are born with different gifts, and we all can still do things, but it's those who are like, some have a talent. Like, I have my friend Victoria, she can play every musical instrument. She's amazing. Not me. I'm sure like I could like pluck at a guitar and you'd probably pay me to stop, but it doesn't mean I can't do it, but I'm not interested in it. It's not my talent, but she's amazing at it. And this is where, I'm confident in what I do now that I know, after growing up and being able to accept what I do and what and not have to hide it and just claim it. When I claim things, and that's when it seems to be like opening up more, like my own subconscious, my spirit guides, they help me open up then, because then when you claim it, then you're ready for it. You're ready to open up. But you talk to them how you need to, like, what happened with me is I would get this anxiety, like I couldn't breathe, and it like major anxiety, and I'd be like, I can't breathe, and I'm thinking I'm having a panic attack. And turns out it's not always a panic attack. It's actually spirit, because they vibrate, because they don't have these meat suits. They vibrate at a much higher level than we do. So when they're coming in and touching in and communicating with us, that's when they touch us. It's like, oh my gosh, they're affecting our vibration. And because we vibrate slower. We're we're on like Destiny, they're still, hanging out with those puff smoker people, just all chill. And then that would become like come with a zapper, like in chat, zapping you with their energy, and it's like, and so it's shocking, and as humans, we naturally go to fight or flight when we don't understand something or we don't see something. If it's unfamiliar, we have this natural, human instinct to, for survival, which is fight or flight. And typically it's always, flight for me. I'm like, oh God, it's dark in here. I feel something. I'm out, So, but if you start to like be able to get more familiar with it and understand, I'm like, hey, once I was able to say, what, I understand your spirit and you're trying to connect with me. Can you work at my energy level, please, and communicate the way I can understand? And they start with a lot of dream work with you, because that's where it's easiest and most comfortable for you. And because you're in your dream work, they're visitations, they're not dreams. You're getting that deja vu because you already dreamt it and you're experiencing it. And because it was a premonition, in a sense, it was already a message that you received, and now they're preparing you for it. And then it gets to be where like they start showing you, or for me personally, I'm like, I'm a card reader. Just give me a tarot card. Give me something, And then that's when I was able to do card readings for people without even using tarot cards. Because I'm like, oh, they're just showing me cards and I'm giving people readings, because they were just popping cards in my head. And that's how I was able to get a little bit more confident with my abilities. And then they started showing me different signs and symbols, tastes, smells, all this stuff. It just like grows. And I'm constantly learning about my abilities. I'm constantly growing. One day I was remote viewing and I was like, wow, I didn't even know I was remote viewing. I just lumped it all into psychic ability. But, then all of a sudden now everybody has like a name for everything. So you're like, all right, I'll get this ability now too, apparently. So, but yeah, just be confident in the fact that it's spirit. You have the ability, hon, and it's going to grow stronger as you become more confident and just claim it. And if you ever need any help, just call me. I'm here for you.
Thank you.
Toby, you've been quiet. You have any questions?
I'm listening, taking it all in.
You're like a sponge. You're just soaking it all in. This is a little bit out of his little league here tonight, a little bit. So, paranormal investigating is his thing, and spiritual warfare and demonology. So he's just absorbing everything. So do you have your cards handy? If
I
you would
do.
like a little meeting,
I don't go anywhere without my cards.
Reading.
Yeah, I don't go anywhere without my cards. Who wants a reading?
I'll take one.
All right, Mike.
Okay, till somebody.
No, wait.
I've got a feeling Cindy is going to want one, because she has already said that she needs more understanding herself. So,
yeah.
I have met her. I really felt that she has a gift.
This is a brand new deck right here. So I'm focusing on Michael first. And it looks like here you are learning and looking into things. And again, you're getting some more insight and stuff. And also at the same time, are you teaching somebody something? Because it looks like here you are, I don't know if you're a mentor or something, but it does look like here, they're telling me here, you are definitely like educating somebody, but you're also learning at the same time. and you're looking into something and doing a lot of soul searching.
Got to be at work.
Like here, your guides are definitely right here. They're feeding you the information that you need. But it also says here, there's two things that you're possibly doing that you were thinking maybe you can't, maybe you're looking into something about doing something new. And again, they're showing me the pentacles again. So there might be some new financial situation coming up here for you that you're thinking, oh, I don't know if I can balance all this out and if I can make all this work together because I'm busy here doing this and I'm busy doing that. It's saying here, right here with this, you are going to be definitely able to manage and handle things smoothly. You just have this great way of creating balance and things and the chaos. It shows here things around the home are going to be you're focusing on that. And it looks like here's something new around the home is a new project around the home is happening here for you. But you love the comfort of your home though, that's for sure. And you love to, make sure that's your little like safety net, the kind of place to go to, your little cubby. And it's saying here, whatever you're investing in making the home a little bit more comfortable, it is definitely worth the investment because I see you investing in that. It does look like here you will be victorious with that. And it does look like here, I do see there's 2 trips, but then there's going to be a third one planned before the end of the year. So I don't know if you have 2. I know you probably have 2 already because that says 2 right there, but they're saying the number 3 to me. So I don't know if that means you're going in the third month or within 3 months, or you're going on 3 trips because they're saying the number 3 at me, but they're not giving it any more clear. And then here's the number 3. So are you doing something within or around 3 weeks? Because it does look like here something's happening within or around 3 weeks, and you're going to feel as if your ship has come in a sense. So it does look like here growth with whatever this new project is that you're doing around the home. It's home based, so whatever this is, you're able to balance this all out. And it does look like here with this, yes, it's definitely worth it. The comfort of the home. It's like money just kind of comes to you. Things just kind of come and flow to you when you put your mind to it. It's almost like you have this thing about you that when you say, you just ask, you believe, and you receive, and that just happens for you. So I'm going to leave that with you, hon. And I hope that helps.
All right. Thank you.
And Cindy does want a reading. Cindy Parr.
Hi, Cindy. How are you? Okay. Any specific questions or just a general? Kobe's so serious.
I do know Cindy's a very good paranormal investigator.
Yes, she is.
Investigated.
She says just a general.
And that's okay, general. But you know what? The thing is when we are drawn to these things, it's because we have these abilities, and something has happened to us during our childhood that would open us to this. And because even though like it's hush hush a lot of times, at least in where the way I was growing up, everything was, even though it was like we practice it every day. I grew up with the tarot cards on the kitchen table, but it's like everyone still kind of keeps it hush hush. Yet everybody has this interest. If you were born and raised in Connecticut, you lived in a haunted house. I mean, it's like everything's haunted in Connecticut, And I think that's why I love this little house that I'm like looking at getting, and it's like because it reminds me of this little Mrs. LaCava's house. And it was this little house on Belmont Circle in Danbury, Connecticut. And I grew up there for a few years, but Mrs. LaCava still lived there. And she would put the water on, and she'd put this, like, open and close the cupboards and stuff. So there's things in our childhood that we were probably, experienced that draw us to this in some form. Either it's a relative or, was interested, like you might have had. But then there's like experiences that maybe you just subconsciously have kind of buried. But it's like you always have some, there's always a curiosity, and some of us need proof for, maybe someone passed over and they just need proof that there is, life after. And, so there's always a different reason, but typically it's a lot of like, I experienced something when I was younger, and then that just kind of grew from there. And then of course, movies are amazing. They get you scared and stuff like that, and want you to be all interested in that stuff too. But Cindy, this is for you, hon. it shows here the Queen of Pentacles right there is saying here, as far as a financial situation, you love to provide and take care of. And it looks like here with this, so there's something that's going on right now for you around the home that you're just kind of feeling like, I don't know if this is a partnership or something around the home, because this is, the Four of Wands here for me. And that's saying here with this, that, you're feeling kind of trapped in a situation, not feeling like, you have a choice, like you're like kind of stuck in a situation. And it's all about perspective, hon. So just remember that it's all about perspective. It's, you have a choice. It's everybody has a choice. And by not making a decision is making a decision. So remember that. And it does look like here, when it comes to a relationship, because I see you got the Four of Rods, which is, the partnership card, but you also have the Two of Cups that just came up. If there is some kind of situation that you're dealing with, it looks like here news is coming in, because you got the message card here also, which tells me here that you're going to overcome like a bittersweet situation. Okay, you're overcoming it. So whatever this is, you're overcoming it. And it does look like also here, this is something from your past. And it looks like here was like maybe there was a sudden upset or a sudden happening. I don't know, and saying here, whatever this sudden thing was, the World card is saying it's going to be okay. Whatever it is, it's smoothing out. A great foundation for what you're doing, and whatever. And then it looks like here for this financial situation, because you have the Queen of Pentacles, which means you love to take care of and provide for. But now it's like whatever this thing is that's coming, that sudden changes are happening in your life, that maybe you're feeling like you were feeling stuck, where you can't, do things around the home or provide in the home, or you didn't have a good foundation for something. You now have the King of Pentacles here, which is telling me here right next to the World card, success and becoming more dominant in a financial situation. So you're going to have a good foundation for whatever it is that you are doing in a financial situation, which is going to be, so have confidence in yourself. Don't be insecure. You have a choice coming up here, and you're not stuck in this situation. Good news is definitely coming. It's going to help you overcome a bittersweet situation. So remember, again, this is the Lover's card, but it also means choices. And I'm going to leave you with that. You always have a choice. And whatever this is, listen to your intuition, because they're showing me the High Priestess card. You have a very strong intuition. And that's when you really need to pay attention. Okay. If you're getting a strong feeling and it's like in the gut and you're like kind of going, this is making me sick. This is not like a good, like nervousness. This is like I'm not feeling really good about this situation. The answer is no. Okay. If you got nervousness and you're kind of anxious, like, oh, but you're kind of feeling good, like excited about it, that's a yes. So kind of like go with that meter if you're having a hard time deciding, because sometimes when you're in a situation right in the middle of it, you can't see what the right answer would be, and you get confused sometimes. Well, this is where you use your emotions as a meter. And it's, are you feeling good about this? Then yes. If you're feeling, anxious and nervous and like sick to your stomach, that's a no. So just kind of concentrate on listening to your intuition, because they say you're very intuitive, my dear. So, but whatever this financial situation is, you're going to overcome any obstacle, come out on top of the situation, and actually become more dominant in a financial situation, which is going to help you out tremendously. I'm going to leave that with you, honey, and I hope that helps.
Okay, she also asked, what about her abilities? Is there any insight on that?
Cindy is asking that?
Cindy,
yeah. Yeah, she has the abilities, yes, and that's what they're telling me. Because they were showing me the High Priestess for her, and that was like, she's got the abilities. She just needs to focus on them and listen to them. And if you're, wondering, like, because they were saying in my head, like, show her this little exercise that you do. And it could be, start practicing here with your exercise. You can do this anywhere, even in the grocery store. Like, okay. And you just stand there and you put your hands on your chest like this, across your chest. And you kind of go, okay, am I going to have, should I have green beans for dinner? Or should, and it'll be like, for me, green beans, I'm like, so, it'd pull you back for a no. And then, oh, am I going to have, apple pie for dinner? And it's like, oh yeah, so then it'll pull you forward. So you have to kind of like practice that. This is going to give you your yes and no's, and to listen to and feel and pay attention to. That's another exercise that I do. And I teach that'll help you become more in tune of what your body is saying, and letting you know what signs and symbols that you're needing to look for to help strengthen your ability and paying attention to your psychic ability. So
pretty
yes,
much like a human pendulum.
yeah, definitely. Yep. So, but I never choose green beans. So it's always a no for me.
Okay, one more. Charles is wanting a reading. He said, after all the bad things that's happened in the past 4 years, I could use some good news.
All right, Charles, here we go.
And Cindy said, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Cindy. Anytime, hon. I haven't been on. I've been like doing some like hermit like work, just kind of. So I haven't been on my Tuesday nights, but I typically do Tuesday nights, approximately 8. I think it's 8 p.m. my time. Whenever that. No, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it fluctuates for me because we don't change our clocks. But yeah, Tuesday nights I do the free readings on Tuesday nights. If anyone ever needs anything like a little pick me up or something. I don't ignore people. I just don't see names because I'm half the time I'm all squirrely and looking around and doing readings. But when I do catch a name. So this is for Charles. You ready? Now, is Charles the Sasquatch person? Bigfoot person?
I think we've talked about going out and looking. I don't think he's ever been before. I had an experience that I talk about. We went to a cemetery, and when we went to the cemetery, I had thought about live streaming from our paranormal page, and when I didn't, and I wish I had. When we pulled up, I remember looking through the trees and I saw something upright walking through the woods with a long glide, just moving along. Now, it could have been a bear, but I don't know what it was. We weren't that close. All I could see was it was black. I'm assuming it was hairy, moving through the woods. And it had to be big and tall because of the strides that it was taking and the way its body was moving as it took a step. And I was saying, Michael, look. Michael is looking over here. You just have to know Michael. I'm like, no, straight ahead. And he's like, where? And I said, there. And about the time he looked in that direction, it was gone. And so that, I don't know if it was. That's the only encounter I've ever had. So we've talked about going and looking for Bigfoot in that area. So I get so excited when I talk about it, because that's the first time I've ever seen anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get when I've never personally seen one, but I've always give it, the benefit of the doubt that anything can exist. Because I think I even had my own experience with one. Never saw it, but the whole place went quiet. Something threw a rock from a far distance and hit my mother. And but there was nobody around us. We were the only people there, but it just like suddenly went really quiet, and we all of a sudden felt like we weren't alone. And then we turned to like kind of, because we got nervous. We're like, we're not alone. Something's here. We got to get out of here. And we start walking fast towards the car, and a rock comes out of the trees, which we were kind of far away from, and hits my mother. And my mom like turned around and thought it was me. And I'm like, I didn't do it. Like, I'm trying to run as fast as the car as I could possibly make it to myself. You're only as, safe as as long as you're somebody slower than you are. Right. So, but yeah, so I think I had an experience, and it was in New Hampshire when that happened. We were going to go camping at the what is those things? Those cabins, those things that people go, hanging out in the woods in. So, so we were going there, and we took a pit stop on the way to New Hampshire. And we were in New Hampshire on the side of the road, and that happened. And when you were talking, I'm feeling like they were giving me the word yes. You were definitely seeing one. you were having an experience. Though the thing is, like, no one's really ever, like, truly, I guess, seen one. So, I mean, like, to where we have pictures, but someone's always trying to disprove a picture. So, but I feel like you definitely did see one, because they keep saying the word yes in my head as you were talking, and they're still saying yes in my head right now. So yes, you did have an experience. And so I don't know, this Charles person, I feel like he's going to be getting interested in this a little bit more himself, and he may be having an experience himself. He may actually.
Yes, he just said, I've had an experience here on his property. He owns a lot of property.
Is it a bent branch where like a little bit of hair is? Like, did he find some hair in a bent branch? Because
I don't know, but he says that smelly things and wood tapping and strange vocals out on his property.
He's going to have physical evidence. He's going to find physical. They're showing me a broken branch with a little bit of hair sticking out, and it might be, he might be able to smell the smell around there, that it's different. But like that, like and then I don't suggest tasting the hair or like anything like that. That would be gross. But maybe having it tested or something, because I feel like this is what they're showing me. It's a snapped branch, and he's gonna know, because it's like, and they got their hair caught in it, like just a few little strands of hair, and it's gonna take a practiced eye to see it, but it's gonna be like he's gonna smell that smell around it, so he's gonna know that's definitely not the hair of a bear or what, a dog. So he's gonna definitely know it's definitely Bigfoot. It watches him. Is there a wall around his house? Because it's like sits on something and just kind of hangs out and like kind of squats and watches him. Is there a wall around his house?
I don't know. I've got to wait for him to answer. I've never been out there.
So while we're waiting for him to answer, I do have,
Go ahead.
Okay. While we are waiting for him to answer, it does show here he's looking for good news, and it is happening. He is going to have some good news. It is about a financial situation. It's suddenly happening. It's something he's been ready and waiting for. So whatever this financial situation is that's coming up here for him, it's a new one. I see him signing contracts, and I see him taking a chance on this, and he needs to be, it's saying he's got, just have the courage to move forward in this and take a leap of faith and step out in just faith there, because it is something that's coming. And I'm going to say probably around the time frame of because it's cups. So we're going to go with Pisces. This could be as soon as Pisces, which is February, March, or this could be the time frame of Cancer. I'm not feeling it's as far out as Cancer, but because Cancer is like June, but it could, I'm just going to give myself a little bit of time. But there's a new thing coming up here, because it's like right away, right here, right now. And so it's something he's been ready and waiting for, but it is signing of contracts of some sort, and to be courageous and have faith that that this is going to work out for him, because there's good news coming his way. Here's the financial situation right there. And this is also the card that I've been seeing for you, Michael. This is what they've been showing me the whole time I've been looking at you. So something's coming up for you. So you just pay attention, write that down, or what? Oh, I guess we're recording it. So you can always go back and see what I say, because I never remember what I say. But communication is definitely key around this financial situation that's coming up here for you, Charles. So it's saying here, there's a choice coming up. And I feel like it's really, don't worry about it being, don't worry about the insecurities or uncertainties. You have the confidence to move forward with this. It does look like here, it might be just, you have to learn a little something, but that's okay. It's all coming, and you are definitely motivated to move forward with this. It's going to be something really good coming your way. So yes, good news is on its way. So, and yes, is that a yes that I saw that he does like have?
No, but that was put up out of order. But he says he's surrounded with woods, so that could be like a wall of woods around the house.
There's something elevated though. Like, I don't know if there's like rocks, or is there like some kind of tower of rock, like not tower, but like some kind of rock buildup or something. Because it sits on, like, I was thinking what I thought I was seeing was like a stone wall or something. So he's like, whatever it is, it's standing on stones, or like it's above stones, and it's looking down at him and watching him. So it is slightly elevated and watches his house too. So he's not going crazy. These things are near him. So, and they like him. I don't know why, but they like him.
Fascinated with Charles is what they are. You know, we've went a little over time, but it has been
Sorry.
fascinating. No, we're allowed. We try to keep it right at an hour, but we always go over. But it's been a pleasure having you on the show tonight, and we're going to have to do this again because we haven't even scratched the surface, girl. We've got to have you back.
Yeah, we'll have to have her back.
Yeah, because you have to hear about my spaceship experience. That was fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least I got my first reading.
Well, you actually got a reading before. I had reached out to John Covey to give me a reading. And he was just starting out, you know. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to help him out. So I sent him a message and, you know, and I wanted a reading. Well, the reading is going good until Michael walks in the room. And then it's like John is saying things and I have no clue what he's talking about. Like military this, military that. And I'm like, he is so far off. And then Michael just eases over in front of the little camera there. And he said, oh, that's me. That's my dad. That's my brother. And so it went from me to all about Michael. But that's as close as he's ever gotten to.
That happens because you can't control what messages they put in there and who comes in and busts in and makes you want to, you know, have to say the message for people. Kobe, if you ever want anything, you can certainly give me a call and just, you know, because you've been so quiet. So, but if you ever want a question answered, just shoot me a message.
I will.
All right.
Or, you know, too, we'll have you back. And
all right, good. I love it. It was fun. I'm so glad you invited me on. I'm excited.
Yeah, this has been real fun. I enjoyed this.
I have too.
It's been a good show.
Maybe next time Kobe will be. Oh wait. He's just soaking it in like a sponge because this is territory for him. He's a paranormal investigator, and now he's went through some stuff in his life over the past year. So maybe, you ought to reach out and. You know,
I will to get a reading. Yes, I will.
Yes, you need to.
Definitely.
You need to. I think it'll help you.
Yeah, because you're drawn to this for a reason, and they're telling me that. So, and because it's not an accident, you didn't just stumble on it, you know. You didn't just watch Zach Baggins one day and decide, oh, I want to be Zach Baggins. So there's definitely a deep-seated reason why you're interested in this, and it's almost kind of like you need a proof of some sort, and validation. You know, it's like you experienced something and now you need validation for what you experienced. And it might be so subconscious and so, you know, so deep that you're not aware of it, but of what your driving force is. But that's what they're kind of showing me here for you. But I do see Charles's comment of, yes, there is a big house behind the barn. So yeah, look around. Is there branches there too? Because I mean, it's like they're giving me this like pungent smell, and then I'm going to see a branch and it's going to be slightly broken, and then there's going to be a couple little hairs. So you got to have a good eye for it. It's not like, and they almost kind of look like, what are those, like those long, thin, little spindly pine, is it pine trees? I don't know what those things are called. I'm very bad at plants and trees, and it's the ones with the long, spindly, like needle-looking things, but not the short ones, but they're long ones. They're supposed to be, I guess you would call it a leaf, but it's not a leaf. It's those green things.
A pine tree.
Pine tree, thank you.
Yeah, we have those all over the place.
We live in Arizona. We have mesquite trees. They look,
and it's like, funny that you mentioned that because, we have a lot of those around here.
Okay, yeah. It's going to look like as if it was like rusty, or like it's dead green things, but it's not the dead green things because it's the red, and that's the color of the hair. So you got to look for that in that got it caught in the broken branch. So watch out for that, Charles. And that's going to be exciting. And I really want some feedback on that one if that happens.
Yes, and you call me when you find that. Don't touch it. Give me time to get there. Just
and then I'm going to go too, because I love this stuff. I might show up in stilettos, but that's okay. So
that's okay.
Sink into the ground.
I'll have on my boots. We'll be ready to go, girl.
I'm the stiletto Sasquatcher.
I'll beat the path down for you. You can follow. We'll get out there. He said he'll be checking it out.
Good.
If somebody wants an in-depth reading with you, where can they go to set up a reading with you?
That they can go to my website. It's very simple. It's onae.org, O-R-G. So onae.org. And they can just go on my site. You have to go into the schedule a reading page, and it gives you a choice of, a couple different readings and prices. And then you in the comment section, because it'll take you through the whole payment and scheduling process. I only have it open for Thursdays, possibly Wednesdays. I'm not really sure, but definitely Thursdays. I think my calendar's open. If you need a different day, you just put it in the messages. And I also do video, phone call, or in person, but only in person if you're like coming to me. I'm not gonna like fly across the country for a reading. So, but yeah, so I do video just like this. So I provide that, and because just reading energy. So, but if you need a different day, if Thursday doesn't work, I'm flexible. So right now I'm doing the Arizona Renaissance Festival. So that weekends are like packed. So for me, but until April. But yeah, onae.org, that's where you can find me.
Awesome. We're going to have you back. I'll reach out with another day if you would like to come back.
I would love to come back.
Good.
Yeah.
Good conversation. I've enjoyed talking to you so much.
And it was so fun to see you at the Warrens in Connecticut, because that's my old stomping grounds is Connecticut. So, but it's fun. I love it. It's so beautiful there too. So
it really is.
Yeah, we'd like to see more of Connecticut,
Yeah. And
I'm so busy.
Yeah, and it's so funny because I'm actually kind of connected to Arnie Johnson, Shy. And because my best friend who I grew up with in Catholic school is his daughter-in-law. And so her son is my best friend's son is his grandson. So it's kind of like this little little connection that we all have. And so it was like, and the funny thing is like, oh my God, it's like, I'm so connected to all of this. And it's like, you don't even pay attention, because when you're growing up with this stuff, it's like, yeah, I live in a haunted house. Well, whatever. Everybody grows up in a haunted house, right? So, everybody sees ghosts and shit, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, everyone gets possessed every now and then, right? But yeah, so it's fun. I love it, and it was a great reunion for the third time for us. But you don't remember me at the MGM because you were getting a little toasty there with your.
Well, I hadn't met you yet then, so I have an excuse.
So it was such an honor being on. I would love to be invited back on. So yes, it was a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Definitely, you have an invitation.
I'll shoot another date out for you, and we'll do this again.
All right.
I love you.
Love you too.
She has been having the worst internet problems. Not tonight. Everything's been good. It's like she'll be on the show and then she's gone. And here she'll come back and then she's gone. Or she'll be talking and her face
that's
is frozen.
Proof of, that is so proof of that you have psychic abilities and that connection with spirit, because they mess with electronics with you. I have 2 phones because I need to have 2 phones because one's not working at some point or another. Computers don't work if I'm standing next to them. TV goes off and on by itself. The car, it just like all kinds of weird stuff happens electronically. So yes, that's when you have spirit around you. So yeah, that will happen.
So basically you're saying that my internet problem may not be the internet, it may be the spirit that lives in my house.
Yes, I am, definitely.
Well, I'm still upgrading because Windstream's awful.
Still getting the upgrade, huh? Just in case.
Yeah, get the upgrade. You need it.
Yeah, and Kobe, it's good to have you, even though you're just basically on the other side of this wall. His house is just right on the other side of the building that we're in tonight. So there's like 3 structures on our property.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
he lives in one. We're in the office of the second structure, and then we live just that way, or that way. The screen's turned.
Yeah. That way.
Yeah, over there.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but we will set another date up, and we'll have you back again. This has been awesome. Great conversation. And I love you.
I love you too, hon. And I'll
All
see you all
right.
later. And it was so
All
nice
right.
meeting both of you. And look, see, the dog's even looking at something. See, this dog sees spirit.
She sees Miss Joan. We know the lady that died here. Her name was Joan.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And she sees her. I see her. The baby sees her. We hear her whistling and humming to the baby. And I've heard her shush him.
That's sweet. That's sweet. It's a gentle spirit, so that's a good thing. That's nice.
Yeah, she's a sweet old lady. I think that she's just attached to the house, like she don't want to leave.
Yeah, it's probably her house, and she's just like, she's sharing with you because you're being nice, but as long as you don't upset her and be rude, that's all they really care about. So,
She plays pranks on us sometimes.
Yes, of course, yes. They love to do that, don't they? Yes. They love
All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. And
all right,
time. Peace
thank
and
you
love,
so
guys.
much.
Peace and love.
Night, everybody.